What's going on, guys? Welcome back to season 2 of Our League Sucks.
I thought we had to be quiet at first.
You guys were quiet. So, first thing we gotta go about. How are you doing, fellas?
Fine.
Ready for another football season to start. This is a long weekend, so I am playing on this podcast injured right now, but we'll power through.
I'm okay.
That's just a content machine.
Mike's a little wordy for being hungover.
I mean, look at that mic Pat has. Of course, he's a content machine.
He came prepared this season.
Yeah, I'm taking this very seriously, if you cannot tell.
Well, 3 days away from kicking off a new season. Kind of going to go through preseason power rankings, break down each team's draft. Nothing too crazy with this episode. Maybe do a little matchup breakdown towards the end. First, I just want to touch on last season's league championship, where I was able to beat Eric's team in a real good game. I don't have much to add to it because it was like 9 months ago, but I just wanted to give myself a pat on the back for winning again.
How magnanimous of you.
I mean, Leonard Fournette having like a weird, kind of surge at the end of the season, and especially because you didn't win with your receivers, is kind of crazy to me.
Neither receivers teams. Neither
J.D.
receivers were good.
J.D. McKissick giving you 20 points, Sanders giving you 15.
McKissick was a savior for my team towards the end of the year.
Yeah, going up against that powerhouse of Gio Bernard.
And Eric really felt the wrath of Corey Davis, too.
If you guys can't tell, we're literally reading off of the scores from the game.
Correct.
Coming up with our opinions in real time.
This is real time. Yeah. It took me forever to figure out how to get back to the match.
It was really good. It was a really good game, guys.
Yeah, so it was just something I felt we needed to touch on a little bit. We'll talk about
You mean because we just didn't acknowledge it last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Gotcha.
Season got cut short. We're kind of going to go straight into power rankings. We did the coaches poll again. Something I do plan on actually changing for this season is I do want to put out a players poll. Probably every week, Monday night, I'll put out a Sunday or Monday night, I'll be putting out a Google sheet for everyone in the league to fill out so we can get the players' opinion too. Not that it'll matter as much as the coaches poll, but it'll be funny to see who ranks who where and who thinks teams are what. And with that said, I think we just jump right into it with a unanimous number 10 in the rankings, and the team maybe hurting the most right now, while his actual own running backs on his team just tear ACL after Achilles, and that's Pops. Pops got all 3 last place votes. It's just not looking too good for him, you know. You think with his Zeke, Dak, he's going to have J.K. Dobbins. And, you know, with Zeke, as you know, Big Mike, just having 2 outstanding running backs like that are enough to generally carry a team throughout the season. Now he's got to be betting on Myles Gaskin to pick up that role.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll see how good Zeke is. I think that last year, the beginning of the season was kind of a flash in the pan for the Cowboys, and I don't know. I mean, I obviously fucking hate the Cowboys, but I don't have as much confidence in that offense as a lot of other people do.
I would. They were all of them hurt. All their O-line was basically hurt. The flash in the pan was only because Dak got hurt. If he plays the whole season, it probably goes a lot differently.
Yeah, but isn't Zach Martin unavailable for Thursday now too?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, we'll see. I refuse to say nice things about the Cowboys. But the rest of Pop's team, I mean, he has 2 decent tight ends, so he could be something. I mean, the upside might be there, but he needs a lot to go right for him.
You just got to look at his wide receiver 3, and that pretty much sums up kind of his whole team. Having to start Brandon Cooks week 1 in what's probably going to be the worst offense in football.
Yep.
And like not having any legitimate other option.
I mean, I don't know why. If I were him, though, you put Shark in for Cooks and then start Pitts and just start 2 tight ends.
Or Russell Gage.
Yeah, or Gage. But I understand not starting Russell Gage and kind of seeing if he's going to be as good as people think he'll be. But, Russell Gage put up numbers last year, and now he's the surefire number 2 on that offense. Well, number 2 receiver. Kyle Pitts will probably be the second option.
Well, and that's bringing up another thing. So, Pops had what the top? Oh, he got like top 5 pick after the trade with Brev, and he takes Kyle Pitts. And I don't know if that's the right pick for somebody whose team kind of needs help elsewhere.
Well, Kyle Pitts is basically a wide receiver, so
I mean, if he gets wide receiver eligibility, that could be a slam dunk of a pick.
he'll just be the best flex play in the entire league.
Yeah. Pops had a weird draft.
Real quick, Pop's team stunk last year, was injured, and then his draft stunk this year, and he's also injured. Book him for last place.
Yeah.
You know, one of the wildest parts about his draft?
What, that Mike had a worse draft?
That
I don't think I did.
Pops went 2 kickers.
Amazing.
And a team with little depth, he's going in with double kickers in one draft.
Well, he doesn't know who's going to win the kicking battles on those teams.
Latavius Murray is about as uninteresting as you can get as a player.
It's uninteresting, but it's a pretty consistent floor. You're going to get your
Bateman's out for the year, right?
I don't know if he's out for a year. I know he's short-term IR, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I think they can activate him after 5 weeks.
And then Lindsey should be the number 1 option in Houston, but it's still a crowded backfield. And like you said, their offense is going to be absolutely terrible.
Well, I believe Mark Ingram has actually won the running back battle in Houston.
Oh, has he? Over
He
David
wasn't David
Johnson and
Johnson?
Lindsey?
Mm-hmm. He was getting all the starters reps during the preseason. Somehow he's the new Frank Gore. He's gonna go somewhere and run for 3.94 yards a carry for the next 10 years and rack up yards to the detriment of the team for the most of the time.
And then the Jets will sign him when he's 37.
Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I think it's going to be a hard year for Pops. Pops come in 10, got 3 points. Then in 9th, we got Nico, came in with 6 points.
Oh boy.
I mean, how do we feel about Nick Chubb this year, boys?
I like him a lot. I like that whole Browns team a lot, but I could just be buying into post-Browns hype again.
Yeah, I know. It's hard not to. And I think Chubb will be good. I don't know if we'll have the same monster numbers that he was putting up last year. But I really like Nico's running backs. I think Eckler's going to be – I mean, it's only half-point PPR, but I think Eckler's going to be an absolute animal this year as long as he stays healthy.
Nico's got 3 great players, and then –
But then, yeah.
Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, I mean – Nico's team honestly isn't god-awful, and I see a path for him to be a playoff team, definitely, if everything kind of hits right. Like if CD hits, if Najee actually hits, if DK continues to grow into a complete player. But just so many ifs. And if he can get 5 points out of his tight end every week.
Yeah, you know who could be a sneaky good player on Nico's team is Kenyon Drake.
No. Nah.
Says the Josh Jacobs owner.
No, I had Kenyon Drake in a redraft league last year. He stunk. No, he sucked last year.
I mean, he actually had a couple big games, but he's also on a brand new team with an injured run. Like Josh
third,
Jacobs is
his
injured.
third team in like
And Josh
3 years.
Jacobs hasn't played a single passing down rep in the preseason, and Kenyon Drake has been playing all of
Yeah,
them.
but they have another running back to do the passing down work.
Yeah, but I think Kenyon Drake will beat him out.
I don't know, man.
Okay, well, we differ on opinions on this one.
But at the end of the day, is he going to be playing Drake over 5 other running backs on his roster?
Yeah, because
You can't slot him into.
No, I don't think he will. I'm not saying he should be playing him right away, but I think he could end up being like a sneaky good like bye week play.
Nico's team is prime for getting rid of one of these running backs to try to get a stud receiver. And I mean, that could really turn around the entire outlook for his team, or a stud tight end. You could always flex, 10 points from a wide receiver 3. The tight end is just going to kill him. Like Gesicki stinks.
Troutman's hurt.
Najee is as much of a 1-1 pick as you can have.
Yeah.
In his position, I almost thought Nico might be willing to go Jamar, knowing he has all these running backs, but it's hard to pass up a stud running back like that.
Yeah. I mean, so much turnover at the position. You have to constantly keep getting running back.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Mike? Just got to keep replenishing that running back room.
Ugh, I hate running backs.
Outside of his top 2 picks, though, I mean, I could see Nelson Aguilar doing something for Nico, but
Well, Nelson Aguilar takes a huge jump in value with the fact that Mac Jones is the starting quarterback.
I don't know about you guys, but I hate how much I like Mac Jones.
I don't really hate how much I like him, but I think he's going to be good, and I think he's going to bring that offense back up. And Aguilar could be a huge beneficiary of that as long as he's catching the balls. That's always been his issue. It'll always continue to be his issue. Brian Edwards is the number 2 receiver now in Las Vegas, right?
Should be. But you never know with them. They want him to be really badly.
Well, and that's why John Brown asked to be released because he got beat out by Brian Edwards. So, yeah, I mean, I could see Nico's team being better than we projected right now, but a lot of things got to go right for him.
Xavier Jones blew out his Achilles.
Yeah.
That'll do it to you. So Nico, 9, 6 points. Next, we got Big Mike's team, 10 points.
Just a dumpster fire.
Man, it's hard seeing this team fall from grace from what it was the first year in the league.
Just shitty drafting.
Well, I mean,
You
Pat
got Naeem Hines, dude.
was joking about it a minute ago. I was saying how you have to keep replenishing the running backs, but you were so poor on receivers at that one time that you needed to get any receivers that you didn't have the chance to replenish the running backs. Now,
Well, the what's it called? The trade with Mike when I gave up Le'Veon Bell actually kind of worked out. Corey Davis didn't work out, but getting Godwin helped a lot. I probably should have gotten rid of Smith-Schuster a few years ago in a trade.
Or like when I tried to trade for him last year.
But I still there's a path for me. Things need to go right. I mean, listen, Naeem Hines wasn't reaching the second round, but at the same time, he could end up being a pretty good pick this year. He had numbers last year. He's the number 2 running back. He's getting all the passing down work.
It's just
Naeem Hines,
because it's half PPR is where
he screams a
lose
running
me.
back on my roster.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm intrigued to see how
you get the same fucking player. Fucking what? 5 rounds later, 3 rounds later, in the 5th. You got the same exact fucking player.
who
Gio Bernard.
I took him in the 7th, idiot.
Well, it's on the 5th pick on that.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause I didn't.
3 7th-round picks.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh my God, dude. Whatever.
Well, I mean, at least be correct about it, right?
Well, stop drafting the exact same player.
He was
Gio
the best
Bernard-
running back available in the 7th round.
Gio
I needed
Bernard's going to
running
be
back.
better. I think Gio Bernard's going to be way better and a better offense.
Yeah, I mean Naheem Hines quarterback sucks. He's a bum.
Hopefully he's good enough to play enough snaps.
75.
Yeah, that's true. I really want that first round pick. But there's a few guys that I'm excited to see how they pan out, specifically Cole Kmet and Gabe Davis. If they make jumps this year, then the future's not as bleak as I think it is right now.
You just got to keep hoping Emmanuel Sanders loses time from injury.
Yeah, but I also think, Gabe Davis got a lot of play last year with John Brown there. So I think he'll still get his looks. And then I have absolutely no idea what to think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I like him. I'm happy. I'm excited for him this year.
I hope so. I really hope so. But and
I think his issue just wasn't he just didn't score touchdowns, and they'll probably come.
Yeah, and hopefully he gets healthy. It's not a high ankle sprain, right? Yeah, and he'll be ready.
Yeah, he's expected to play week 1, I believe. I mean, the best thing he has going for him is he has absolutely zero competition in Kansas City for snaps at running back.
Yeah,
there's nobody with talent at running back besides him on that team.
And then
the number 2 I think is also hurt.
Yeah, but it's like Darrell Williams, the most Chiefs Andy Reid running back of all time.
And then Kamara's going to get his and Josh Allen's going to get his. I'm not worried about them at all. But overall, just there's a lot of question marks. And if I make the playoffs this year, I'll be fucking shocked.
You got an absolute powerhouse offense for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then you got Kamara, who they don't have a wide receiver or a tight end. You got Marquez Callaway. That's it.
Stud.
Callaway's gonna. I think Callaway could.
Yeah, because he's the only fucking guy there.
Yeah, him and fucking Kamara.
We can not talk about Mike's team and not talk about the 3rd overall pick for his team. Devontae Adams at 3 over Kyle Pitts, over Etienne, over Javonte Williams,
Devonte Smith.
Devonte Smith.
What'd I say?
Devontae Adams.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, she would be a lot better with Devontae Adams, but Devonte Smith nonetheless. I mean, it's a Mike pick through and through. Mike could almost field an entire starting lineup with Eagles at this point.
And pops with the Ravens and
Wait, who went 2nd overall? No, Etienne went 2nd overall. I didn't pick Smith over Etienne.
Sure did, buddy.
Yeah, you did.
Jamar Chase went 2nd
overall. Well, regardless, I was gonna take Smith anyway at 3. We all knew that going into it once the Eagles picked him.
We knew that 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be surprised.
Not surprised.
Smith is going to absolutely cook this year. I think him and Hurts have something going on.
I think I got the better wide receiver.
Which one?
Elijah Moore.
Well, yeah, you're biased. You're a Jets fan, so I think you're wrong.
I will say it. I would not be surprised
sucks, dude,
if Big Mike's team ends up being the number 1 overall pick next year. He just has so many question marks. I mean, if Juju comes back and plays well.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fire sale at one point.
You mean Juju, the number 3 wide receiver?
Number 1 in our hearts.
No. On that offense, it's still probably Pat Freiermuth.
Maybe.
The GOAT.
Anything else you want to add about your team, Mike, before we move on to the 7th ranked team?
No, not really.
That's okay. This guy had a worse draft than you.
Coming in at 7, we got Lupo's team, 12 points, just slightly above Big Mike's team. It's hard because at pick 5, I think Lupo got him. Etienne is a slam dunk pick. And then he blew out his ACL, or was it his Achilles?
No, it was fun.
No, Liz Frank.
Yeah.
And that just hurts. Like, no matter how you look at it, Etienne was going to be a very good player for Lupo's team this year.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he would be this crazy point scorer for them. Seemed
Well,
like he was pretty particular role that he was playing.
Yeah, but he's gonna
Pass-
catch some
pass catcher.
passes, run the ball sometimes. I mean, it looks like the Jaguars hate James Robinson.
Yeah,
It looks like they hate him.
I mean, they've done everything to not have him be the number one guy, and he's just like, I'm gonna just be better than everyone you guys bring in. But
new coaching staff, all of that. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's not their guy.
Is James Conner the starter in Arizona?
nah, Chase Edmonds.
Not Chase Edmonds. Yeah,
Chase Edmonds. Yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting the Arizona running backs.
that's why
I
they
mean-
didn't bring back Kenyon Drake. They had Chase Edmonds.
Lupo's got very good receivers. Cooper, Ridley, and Cup. Those are very strong half-point PPR receivers.
Yeah, and I really like the Rams receivers this year with Stafford finally having like a viable offense to play in.
He's got a stud tight end.
Yeah.
And then is just running back with Mixon. DeAndre Swift, when he gets healthy in a couple of weeks, will be big. But just Etienne would have made that flex position so much stronger for his team. And you know, we're a 10-team dynasty league. Like, this team's not just god awful. None of these teams are god awful, except maybe Pop's team. But
I mean, look at Lupo's bench too, though. He has fucking T. Higgins and Keenan Allen on his bench.
yeah, I mean, that's why the Etienne pick was just such a perfect pick for him, and then just is a wasted season.
Yeah. Now you got to hope Joe Mixon isn't Joe Mixon, where he's good half of the year and bad the other half.
See, I'm a Joe Mixon believer.
I don't like James Conner.
No, James,
I don't
I don't
like
understand
James
how you can
Conner
play
either.
him. I'm a Joe Mixon lover just because I think Joe Burrow is so cool that people in the Bengals have to be not bad. Same with like the Browns a couple of years ago when they were on the Hard Knocks. Like Baker's really cool. So every Browns player is going to be a top 10 fantasy player. I mean, there's pieces there. He has good receivers. If he can send a receiver out and bring back a strong RB2, I think his team could definitely continue his streak. I don't think he's missed the playoffs yet.
Marquise
So-
Brown stinks.
Yeah, I think he does stink, which is unfortunate because I thought he was going to be good.
Can't just give yourself the cool nickname of Hollywood and, not be good. Also, probably doesn't help that your QB isn't a prolific passer. Can we talk about Lupo drafting Kadarius Toney, and then also the Giants drafting Kadarius Toney in the first round?
Yeah,
Terrible pick, both times.
It was a shocker, to say the least. I mean, where is Kadarius Toney even on their depth chart?
He's been hurt like the entire preseason.
I think he got hurt, got healthy, got COVID, got healthy, got hurt again.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
Where did he go to school?
Kadarius Toney. I think SEC.
Florida. Was
Yeah.
he Florida?
Yes, he was Florida.
And then he's behind.
Shepard, Galladay,
Slayton,
Slayton,
and even behind Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, Evan
Evan Ingram.
stinks.
Evan Ingram's also hurt. Might not be playing.
Looks like they're all hurt.
Well, yeah, they had to run laps. He's trying to set a tone, Joe Judge. He's trying to, come in, mold this team. And all they do is get in fights and run laps and get hurt. It's fucking awesome, dude. Fucking love it. I think we all love it here.
I do agree. I love it.
While Robert Saleh gives like off days and fucking.
Yeah, we talked about it when it happened. I think that was one of the best coaching hires of the offseason.
Yeah.
Like by far.
And it's looking good. I don't think they had a fight in camp at all this year. Now you can, we're not going to get into this. This isn't fantasy football.
Yeah.
We're going to start talking for 25 minutes. I'm going to start talking.
Is that anything else to add about Lupo's team?
It sucks, dude. Well, the draft his team's good. Bad luck.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Lupo makes the playoffs this year.
What I don't understand, just at least these first 4 teams we've gone through with their draft and their teams, why didn't they draft better players?
So our next team in the rankings, we got in a tie for 5th place. Slotted 5B. We got Brad's team at 17 points. I mean, Brad's team's not bad, but Brad's team is absolutely the you gotta show me before I can move you up the rankings type team.
Yeah, but he has everything there.
Mhm.
You know, he has 2 RB1s and one. I mean, he has the best quarterback in the game. You know, I can see Hawkinson being a beast this year, as long as he stays healthy, which has been an issue. A lot of people really like Mike Williams too this year to make to get in sync with Justin Herbert. But you know, I think that's been being said for the past like 4 years, so we'll see.
You
I
just
think
can't
Josh
stay
Palmer's going to
healthy.
take his time.
What, Pat?
I think Josh Palmer's going to take some of that Mike Williams targets.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
He's got like one of the best players in fantasy at each position, and then the next one is like not great. Derrick Henry, awesome. Chris Carson, yeah.
Well, he does have Saquon too.
Yeah.
And I think you gotta say Brad got the steal of the draft at this point with Gus Edwards.
With Gus Edwards, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he drafted like 3 wide receiver 1s or wide receiver 2s on teams.
I think Jamar Chase will be fine too. I think that hype is being a little bit overblown.
He hasn't played in 2 years. He'll be fine long term.
Yeah.
Probably won't be great this year.
Is this
as well as Joe Burrow might help.
Rondale Moore's listed as a receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't he? I guess he played like kind of all over the place for Purdue.
Yeah.
I always thought he was more of a running back, but I could be totally wrong about that.
Hey, Cody, will you get copyrighted for playing the Purdue fight song?
Yeah, while you were gone, Mike, I told Pat that our last YouTube video got a copyright claim on it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
For what?
I just saw it today when I was checking everything out again for I put in the DeAndre Hopkins Hard Knocks thing where he breaks what's his name's ankles.
Oh yeah.
And that got copyright claimed.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. So we can't monetize that video in the future, unfortunately.
We're really making a name for ourselves, boys.
Pretty sure.
We're on the
It's
radar.
Nah, Mike, it's an algorithm.
They hear footsteps.
It has nothing to do with it. It's an algorithm.
They hear footsteps. We're coming for them.
I think so far in this rankings, though, Brav has by far the most question marks at receiver of any team.
Yeah.
He has like 8 guys you could think of playing every single week, and half of them could be absolutely awful, and half could be fantasy relevant.
Yeah. The only constant is Robbie Anderson,
Yeah, that's about. Though
which is
I'm
hilarious.
kind of on the Debo hype train this year too, though.
That's fine. Just he gets hurt.
I guess Brav's receivers are a lot like how I view his team. It's like all his receivers, like you gotta do it for multiple weeks before I can believe that these guys are actually going to be championship contender level players. I mean, once we're getting into these top 5 teams, you got to assume these are the teams that should be vying for our championship this year. The next team in a tie for 5th, maybe the team with the weirdest draft. That's Eric.
It's fucking amazing.
Eric
He had 5 picks.
Eric had 5A with 5 picks. First 2 being Jet associated quarterbacks.
Jets past and present QBs, and then a kicker.
Yeah, and then a kicker, and then a RB3.
It was the RB3, Justin Jackson.
Yeah.
But Eric's got the running backs. People really believe in Corey Davis this year. I'm not too high on him. And Rob, and like you said earlier, I very much believe the Ravens passing offense is going to go crazy this year. And he's got Robert Woods.
Yeah, I like Robert Woods a lot. I've gone Robert Woods in a bunch of redraft leagues, and I'm feeling pretty confident about that.
I'm confident in Corey Davis. He's hyper targeted. That's all you need. Just catch the ball. You'll get your points. Even in this half PPR, because he's going to get so many targets. And he's a sure catch every time. It'll be like 9 catches for 87 yards, and he's just putting up 13 points like every week. Don't matter.
Like it's good, but like Eric needs him.
It's not exciting. He's not exciting.
15 to 20 plus as his wide receiver one, realistically.
Which, I mean, if you buy into Zach Wilson, yeah, if he catches touchdowns, yeah, could be. But sometimes you just need a really good floor of 12 to 14 points. You're not worrying about those, 2-point weeks, 0-point weeks.
Definitely. Eric's team is a team that definitely lacks important depth that to be a true championship contender you have.
I mean, Devontae Booker and Justin Jackson were really weird picks.
Devontae Booker, because you don't know what Saquon is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, but you look at his bench, he still has Lockett. He has Darrell Henderson, who could, we'll see. But Park, if Tua makes a jump this year, Devontae Parker could come back into relevance. And then who's this? Yeah, I guess his starting tight end is Kittle. So he still has Tonyan. He has depth at tight end. I don't hate Eric's team.
No, not at all. And again, these are the teams that I think we can all see making into a championship. And he has that star in Aaron Jones. He has a quarterback he's going to get 20 points from every week in Aaron Rodgers.
But
Go ahead.
This is the kind of draft I'm talking about where, you can just get good players. You don't have to draft 2 straight QBs. You can just get a really good player. Just because you have a bunch of them, just always have more. People get hurt all year. What are you going to do? You're going to put Sam Darnold at fucking wide receiver 2? You start losing players? You're going to start Devontae Booker at tight end? Shit happens, man. Like you had a great team of running backs.
And then Gurley just fell apart.
They all just fucking fell apart, got in trouble.
Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt kicked a girl.
Yeah. You just always have to get good players. I don't know.
It is hard though. You got to give Eric that. His first pick wasn't until the second to last pick of the 3rd round. So he didn't have a chance at a lot of these kind of more like premium type players that could slot in as like a weekly, like, yeah, he's not great, but he'll give me 10 points. So I think we're going to be going into the top 4 now, and these are what I would assume are the most likely to win the title. I can see Eric or Brad's team make it. I would not be shocked at all if Luca makes the playoffs, but I think these 4 are the true contenders for the title again.
And I'm the worst of them.
And coming in at 4, we got Pat, 20 points. Pat has what could be one of the best first-round picks in the league this year, Javonte Williams, who the Broncos just keep absolutely loving.
Still don't like Melvin Gordon being there and getting touches, but hey, rookie running back, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Melvin Gordon definitely feels like the holdover running back at this point, where if Javonte shows enough, they'll be very happy to be like, okay, Melvin, get out of here. We're moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's got a strong team.
Stud quarterbacks. We'll see with Miles Sanders, but I think Gibson's going to be a stud this year too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You have the number 1 receiver.
Yeah. And
I mean, you're just a well-rounded team.
And then I
Especially
got-
if Higbee hits.
Yeah.
I needed to shore that up. I don't know. Well, at that point, it was Cam.
You need
Newton
DJ
throwing
Moore to be
Jonnu.
consistent. You need DJ Moore to be consistent.
Yeah. Be the wide receiver one on his team. Which, I mean, he doesn't have Teddy Bridgewater throwing. So, and, Sam Darnold isn't great, but he throws. Hopefully it works out. I have a lot of potential. Josh Jacobs and Miles Sanders bouncing back and being those running back ones they're supposed to be. I have more hope in Jacobs than I do Sanders for that.
And then, if Elijah Moore continues to show in the regular season what he did in the preseason, that's going to be a great pick too.
Yeah, I'm going to get to him later on the docket. Our most important rookies. Because I think he's going to be a fucking monster. I think he'll be the best wide receiver in this rookie class, at least this year.
Elijah Moore.
I do.
I respectfully disagree. I do think, and then bias aside, I do.
No,
think
that's fine.
Devonte
But
Smith.
if you watch any of his college highlights or like the shit he does now, the way he plays,
Yeah, I've
he
seen it
catches
all.
and runs, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah. No, I really like Elijah Moore.
I do too. And history is on my side. How many great Ole Miss wide receivers have came out and been absolute fucking studs. There's been one every year so far.
Who was last year?
Last year was no, it wasn't. AJ Brown was the year before.
DK the year before that.
Who was the year before AJ Brown?
DK.
DK.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting he was at Ole Miss.
Or was AJ Brown a rookie? No.
No, I wasn't.
Fuck. There was one. There had to have been one last year. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but I mean, Pat's team definitely is strong. I am not as high on Deontay Johnson as a lot of people are. I think he'll kind of settle into that wide receiver 3 for the Steelers.
I think he's better than Juju.
Different games though. Juju plays that game that suits an aging quarterback so much better. The short routes.
Yeah, I mean, if we were a full point PPR, I'd feel so much better about Juju on my team than I do.
I mean, I'd feel better about Deontay Johnson than I do. Because he's hyper targeted. He gets 10 targets a game. And that's what led to his, absurdly bad catch rate.
Yeah, he did have that struggle.
He was just getting 10 to 15 targets a game. So him dropping passes twice a game.
Yeah.
Fucking soared that thing.
Was Ben healthy last year?
Nah, he missed he was out the last month, wasn't he?
I thought he was out most of last year. So I was going to say that's another wrinkle coming to that team. Plus, they actually have a viable running back now in Najee. So I don't know if there's going to be quite as many balls to go around this year as last year, where James Conner just couldn't get anything done with that offensive line. I think you have either Jacobs or Sanders is going to be a top 24 running back in the league this year. So I don't know. I think you're pretty set there. You're solid all around. You need some players to be spectacular for you to kind of push into the championship contender realm, but
Yeah, most of it's Higbee.
yeah, you need that consistent tight end.
If Higbee works out, I'm fine.
Mhm.
I'll be more than fine. And it's plugging and playing the right guys the right weeks.
Mainly Herbert and Field, or not Fields. Herbert.
Nah. Unless Kyler gets hurt, Kyler doesn't fucking leave.
Okay,
Leave this.
I think
up.
that's the right call. But I know last year you struggled with that.
Yeah, because Kyler fucked up his shoulder halfway through the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if you end up dealing Herbert at one point if Trey Lance, starts starting and shows what people are expecting of him.
That's only if we don't do 2 QBs. If we do 2 QBs, I'm fucking keeping everybody. Can't stop me.
So
But and then my draft on top of that.
I mean, Ty Johnson in the 7th round is, and Devin Coleman in like the 5th or 6th round. It's just
But I dropped Tevin Coleman. I drafted both specifically because
you wanted to see who.
Yeah.
it was both who's going to be the one and also who's going to survive the rest of camp.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to sit there and only take Tevin Coleman and then go, well, oh, look at that, he's hurt again.
Mhm.
But I'm really excited for Ty Johnson, running back 1. He's going to be a lot closer to the Raheem Mostert kind of player.
What are they thinking?
Finally,
What are they thinking for the splits in terms of carries for the Jets?
it's going to be split right now, at least beginning of the season. It's split between Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson.
You don't
would
think
probably
Michael Carter's gonna get any looks early on?
No, he will, but it won't be enough to like if you go Ty Johnson gets 40%, Tevin Coleman gets 30. At least end of season breakdown would probably be something like that. At least the beginning of the year, Tevin Coleman's going to be involved until Michael Carter's more ready.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ready yet. And Ty Johnson is a fucking monster. He's always just been buried on depth charts. On the Lions, he was behind Kerryon Johnson, those kind of guys. Then on the Jets, once he finally started playing, he put up 20-point weeks. Once he started, because he catches, he rushes well. He has to see the field. So, and I think he's super involved now, so I'm not worried. That's going to be the steal. Gus Edwards worked out, but I think Ty Johnson is just going to be just as good.
Okay,
And Pat Fryermuth, he's Big Ben, the Pat. It's going to be fucking great, guys. Fuck Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron can't catch save his life.
Ebron is such a guy to ruin a tight end though, or to a receivers week. He'll just catch like 2 touchdowns for no reason.
I think the only pick I got cute with was Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Where
That's
is he?
it. What?
Is he in Arizona?
Browns.
Oh, I thought he got let go by the Browns.
No, he was like their best wide receiver in preseason.
And if he was on there in preseason, I thought he got let go like last year.
No, that was Marquez Callaway. Right?
What?
Callaway was the Browns running wide receiver that got cut last year.
You think of Antonio
I
Callaway?
thought Callaway was on the Saints all year last year.
Yeah, I think of Antonio Callaway.
Antonio Callaway, yeah.
Yeah. I hear that.
It was going to be a stud, but like marijuana too much.
Right, that's why I thought it was the same guy.
So coming up next, we have me at my team at 3rd with 23 points, slightly above you. I never know how to feel about my team going into the year.
I mean, it's the same story every year almost. Like if your running backs give you consistent points, you're going to be at the top of the league again.
I don't like your running backs.
I don't like them either,
and you draft too late to actually get game changers of running backs to like be that kind of like Michael Carter eventually could be very good, but you got the 6th running back of like a really top heavy running back class.
Sure did. I do got to say, I do expect good things from Damien Harris.
That's exactly where I was going to go next. I think Damien Harris might be the saving grace of your running backs.
Yeah, but okay, he replaces one of those 2 of Leonard Fournette and Kareem Hunt. Okay, but the other one still stinks.
mean, I like Fremont. Fremont is the perfect.
Yeah, but we're
target
just
too.
saying, but we're not talking about the other ones that stink. We're just talking about how Damien Harris could have a big year.
Right, but you still will have to end up starting one of those guys. So
Yeah.
yes, you have a good running back now, but you still don't have another good running back.
Yeah, but I
And it's
don't know.
also Damien Harris is a good running back. He's had, Sony Michel. Now he's gone. He still has James White. James White's still probably going to get.
Yeah, but he'll get his in the passing game.
Yeah. Okay. So now you got 2 downs to work with. I think Damien Harris is going to be better than he has been. Injuries and, being buried has, hurt him. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah, I mean, outside of him, I like AJ Dillon, but Aaron Jones is just too good. And Kenneth Gainwell, I like, but he's not going to be anything very worthwhile.
That's
Later season, maybe. My receivers are really good, obviously. I don't know how I feel actually about Julio and AJ Brown being on the same team, though. I like each of them being dominant wide receiver
it
one
is
players.
so weird seeing Julio on a different team now. But I mean, even your receivers on your bench, like you have Chenault, you have Marquez Callaway, like your receivers are not an issue.
Correct.
I just want to take 1 minute to say how much I absolutely hate Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, that guy fucking stinks.
It's like 2 weeks every year where it's like, and that is Antonio Gates right there. And then he runs too fast and pulls his hamstring and is out for 6 weeks.
Yep.
He's just so frustrating down. And tight end is just so thin that it's not like I want to drop him either.
I mean, yeah, you can't drop him because he still gets his targets at least
When he's not hurt.
Yeah.
Which is all the time.
I mean, I had a pretty lackluster draft too.
But that's drafting at the back of the round.
I took Michael Carter. I was thinking of taking Elijah Moore because he had a lot of hype going dark draft. And then there's someone that went right after. Oh, Ramondre Stevenson to kind of stack with Damien Harris, but he hadn't quite built up to the hype yet.
And so that was still there. Which, I mean, Michelle hasn't been great, but
he's still getting some burn. He's going to take some carries. I mean, honestly, I think my team's probably worse than Pat's team, to be quite honest.
you have more like surefire players. So
Yeah.
I placed myself, I think, third in our rankings, and that was just more of a prestige type thing instead of fully believing I was the third best team. I like the Browns defense. I think they may give up 20 points a game, but I could see them still getting 4 sacks a game and a pick and a forced fumble, which should be okay. I'm just all in on the Browns again. Bunch of cool guys playing football.
I don't think your draft's that bad. Drafting from where you were, you kind of have to hit. You have to take some swings, which I think you're going to hit with Callaway and Atwell.
Yeah, getting Callaway in the 3rd round was pretty fucking nice.
Thing is, you just got to hope running back break goes your way with those first 2.
I am looking to add a running back. It's hard to get someone to agree to a trade that's fair, but it's out there. Wide receiver for running back is your boy up. So next, coming in at 2, we got Jack's team, 25 points. I personally think Jack has the number 1 team, but I also think much like Brav, Jack has to show that he can do it.
I think Jack has the best starting lineup.
Yes.
Mm.
I don't really. Jack has almost no depth, at least not proven depth. Like Waddle, Pittman, Marshall, they haven't done anything yet. They're all question marks.
David Johnson, Mike Davis, Wayne Gallman.
Yeah, he has. Mike Davis might be his only like viable bench option right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I put Jack where I did in the rankings. I just
He
his
is the
starters
best
are fine
running back.
or whatever. I'm not gonna say he doesn't have good starters, but I just don't like his bench at all.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
I'm
Obviously,
fine with him.
I get. Are we done talking about Jack?
he obviously has the number 1 overall fantasy player. Dude, what do you do? And then
You got lucky with James Robinson.
mhm,
He has the number 2. He has 2 of the top like 10 receivers.
I like Stephon Diggs so much.
Yeah, a lot.
Who's the Redskins quarterback? Why am I blanking on this? Is it Fitz?
It's magic.
Oh man, that could mean great things for Terry McLaurin too.
Yeah, they're just gonna air it out to McLaurin.
And I like Ayuk a lot actually.
I like Ayuk a lot too. I think he makes the big jump this year for the Niners. Him and Samuel both could be scary out there.
Yeah. They're just like perfect players for that Shanahan type system. Like they can kind of do everything and move everywhere, so you never are sure what's coming at you.
Exactly.
I just can't believe he got lucky with picking up James Robinson last year. Then he got unlucky because they drafted a running back early this year. Then he got lucky again because that running back had a season-ending injury.
Yep.
I don't know if James Robinson will repeat this year. If James Robinson doesn't repeat this year to that same standard,
It all depends on Trevor Lawrence.
true.
Yeah, they got freaking Carlos Hyde, I think.
But
second on
now-
the team.
But now they don't have to just keep fucking pounding the rock because they have Trevor Lawrence.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if he opens it up for him, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't think he hits that same high this year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Sounds like you're disagreeing with me.
Jack just has to hope his starting lineup doesn't.
No,
get
because I don't really know if I have confidence in Trevor Lawrence.
True.
hurt.
If the Jets got Trevor Lawrence, he would be absolutely a bust. You can book it right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have an arm. Decided to start throwing left-handed instead of right-handed.
And is Jack's draft even worth like talking about?
Yeah, because it was
I think he actually had one of the best drafts.
pretty good. Yeah.
I actually like Waddle. I think Tua is going to have a good year.
I don't know. They still keep trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, but that's like the
They're gonna literally trade Tua and a bunch of first-round picks for a guy with like 50 accusations of rape. They don't fucking want this guy.
Dolphins are weird, man.
Marshall he's on the Panthers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had rave reviews, hasn't he? He's like,
Yep.
He's so much better than I thought. We
It's-
talked about Ramondre a little bit.
Got lucky that, now he's got the number 2 running back on that team.
Cody, that's a typo too, right? It's not Tyrell. That's supposed to be Tyrell Williams.
Probably.
Is it?
Not Tyrek.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean he's the number 1 of the Lions, but we'll see. I think the Lions.
but he's their number 1 wide receiver, so he'll probably still put up enough. decent points.
And I think his sneaky good pick is Larry Roundtree for the running back for the. Did he cut him?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
cut
he's
him.
not even on his team anymore. That's why I'm saying like Jack dropped like half his draft already.
They cut Roundtree. I know they were talking about it. But
Yeah, you got rid of Hawkins and Roundtree.
I think we drafted, and then like 12 hours later, they cut Hawkins.
Yeah, and then he got cut again by another team.
Yeah, he was like the number one sleeper running back on a bunch of websites.
Amazing.
Yep.
Right,
People would not have confidence in Mike Davis.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
he's the
Mike
number
Davis.
one. He's the number one on Atlanta, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming in number one for most of last season. Pretty sure he finished number one in the standings last year. We got Mike DeCoste, 29 points, 2 first place votes. Can Mike do it this year?
Probably
Probably
not,
not.
because it doesn't work out that way for him.
You know,
Whatever week in the playoffs it is, Dalvin Cook doesn't play.
I mean, he has the number 2 running back, the number 1 receiver. You know, Wilson. Mike's issue is always Wilson just falling off in the second half of the season too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. How do you guys feel about David Montgomery this year?
I like David Montgomery this year. I like him a lot.
I like him if Fields plays.
It doesn't matter for me. I think his badness was overblown last year, and he ended up being really good. Like that
I
second.
don't think he
half.
was bad last year. I mean, I don't.
Oh, no, at the beginning, right? He was a rookie last year, right?
No.
No, he was a rookie in 2019,
Okay.
and he was not
Oh
good.
no,
then.
he had that neck injury in the beginning of the preseason or some shit, right? And he just wasn't right for the first few weeks.
Yeah, he had 2 like his rookie year. He had like 2 like decent games when it mattered,
Right.
and that was it. And then last year, he obviously turned it up.
But he'd gotten hurt early in the year. So everybody was like, oh, same old with David Montgomery.
Yeah, but then after
He turned it on. He ended up being like
week 10.
he ended up being a top 24 running back anyway. I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Finished like top 5 almost, I think.
After their bye
those
week in
weeks,
week
yeah.
11, he didn't play week 10, and then after their bye week in week 11, he went 24.8, 25.1, 25, 30.7, 19.10, and then 23.7.
That's why I tried to trade for him last year.
That's like 80% of his points in 6 weeks after the year before being not a good player. I just don't understand. I can't trust it until he does it at least a couple weeks this year.
That's fine. I mean, it's rookies, dude. Sometimes you get blessed with like a Justin Jefferson, who's the greatest rookie wide receiver ever.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you get rookie wide receivers who take a couple years. Corey Davis just got good. He was a top 5 pick.
Yeah, Montgomery's somebody I never thought was really that great. So like even him coming out.
Sometimes that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, and he's just not. I mean,
Sometimes it's just situation.
I think he gets.
There you go.
I think David Montgomery falls victim to not being the most exciting player too. So people like aren't super hype about him. I mean, he's just a bowling ball. He's just a power runner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if Fields plays, he can reach another level this year. I think he'll be fine regardless. But I think once Fields takes over, it'll open up everything for Montgomery and he'll hit another level.
Can't wait until Andy Dalton's like middle of the pack for QBs this year. Justin Fields never sees the field.
I mean, that'd be crazy. But that would just be terrible coaching by Matt Nagy.
Pick do I got? I'm doing a fucking Megalo Bowl.
Oh yeah, I was going to sign up for it, but I didn't end up.
Yeah, I'm in it right now. I am the 10th pick, so
For what?
Megalo Bowl.
What's that?
It's like a week to week. You draft a team, and then like whatever
Oh, okay.
something like that.
How did Mike go out last year? Because I think we talk about it every one of these.
I'm almost
but
positive it was a Dalvin Cook week and he didn't play. His
was
last year he didn't play, and then Alexander Madison stunk.
we talk about how Mike just has like 6, 7 receivers he has to choose from, and Mike is the ultimate fantasy overthinker. He's the guy always going for the superstar shot, not just taking the steady points.
Last year, Mike lost to Eric by less than 4 points in the semifinals. Dalvin Cook had 26 points for him in the semis, Pat.
Oh, okay.
Russell Wilson only put up 13. That's what it is. It's Russell Wilson. Oh, Devonte Adams only had 7 points too.
You mean he lost 126 to 130, and he got 60 points from 2 running backs.
Yep.
And he's gotta hope that Noah Fant turns into something this year, I think.
Yeah.
It's so hard to win a championship in fantasy when you don't have a true tight end.
Competent tight end.
Mhm.
You just need 10 points every week from him.
So that's our top 10.
Oh, just real quick on Mike's draft. I love Sherman,
Yeah.
and I love Josh Palmer.
What was the first name you said?
Trey Sermon.
Oh, yeah.
First round pick. Yeah, it's a great pick, I think.
Chuba Hubbard is fine.
I mean, he's only fine. Well, this year,
Wait,
I
do you
think
know him?
Hubbard
Do you
has
know
a
him?
future in the league, but this year it's not going to matter as long as.
Wait, have you heard of him? Hubbard? Jesus Christ. Travis Kelce went 5th overall.
So just a quick rundown of our top 10. We got Pops in 10, Nico in 9th, Big Mike in 8th, Luco in 7th. We tied for 5th between Brad and Eric. Then Pat, myself, Jack, and Mike DeCoste. Rounding out. Mike has some pressure on his shoulders. Everyone thought he was going to win it last year and didn't.
He has yet to live up to the pressure.
This isn't about if we had gone in like orders of who we think will win. It's a different list because Mike is very, very unlucky in fantasy playoffs, and Jack's right fucking there with him.
So
The top 2 teams are always losing in the playoffs when they shouldn't.
and you know what they both have in common?
Really good teams.
Huge overthinkers and a question mark at one position.
Yep.
Who to start? I will sit next to both of them on a Sunday, and it'll be, 12:56, and they're flipping between players, still trying to figure out who they want to start.
Yeah. I try to get that done by like 8, and then I'm fucking done. I'm not gonna even.
Yeah, I do it right
Unless
when I
there's-
wake up. Make
Unless
sure.
there's an injury.
The only thing I check like right before the games is the questionable tags. Make sure that I don't have anyone in the lineup that's not playing.
So now that the power rankings are done, we're going to go into kind of a preseason awards for this league. So we're going to start out with who we believe is the most important or impactful rookie that somebody drafted this year. I'll go ahead and start. I think that is actually going to be Jamar Chase for Brav's team. I think as the season goes on, his importance will kind of keep kind of climbing up. And, towards the second half of the season when Brav really needs somebody to step up, you can get Michael Thomas back. You'll have, this rookie that could potentially put his team finally into that playoff contender hunt. Pat?
No, let Mike go. I want to save mine for last.
So, Mike?
All right, so my most important rookie, as I need him to be the most important rookie, I think will be Devonte Smith. I think the connection between him and Hurts going into the year is too big to ignore. It's not a normal rookie, new quarter, like a rookie and a young quarterback connection. They have a history of working together. I think Smith was the best receiver in this draft, and I am predicting that Smith goes for over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns this year and just sets the league on fire.
Okay, Pat.
No. Those guys are good. But I think Elijah Moore is going to be the best rookie, the most important rookie, but also the best rookie wide receiver this year. I think he's going to finish top 24 altogether. And I think he's going to be the most important rookie. Happens to be on my team. Maybe I'm a little biased both on my team and on my favorite team, but the talent's there. Rave reviews. They say they have a fucking superstar player on their team now. The Jets do. And I think he's going to be this year's Justin Jefferson. Maybe not to the heights, but I think he's going to come damn close. That was my bold take as well. Top 24 wide receiver.
Okay. So we got Jamar Chase, Elijah Moore, and Devonte Smith.
That's the reason why I wanted to go last, because I obviously wanted to take the lowest drafted altogether, both
One.
NFL draft and in our draft.
So our next preseason award will go to the most surprising team we think is going to be this year. Mike, you want to start this one?
And we mean like most surprising fantasy team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really hadn't decided yet who I was going to pick. It was between two. But I think it's going to be Lupo. I think Lupo has a chance, like an actual chance to get to the championship if Joe Mixon stays healthy and Burrow keeps that offense going to where it was. Brady will be fine, but I'm really big, if you couldn't tell already, on Fields this year. I think it just would be professionally completely irresponsible of Matt Nagy to keep playing Andy Dalton after this preseason and not start Fields at one point. I think Fields will take over and excel pretty rapidly. DeAndre Swift will get healthy and come back. Keenan Allen is like sitting there on his bench, but Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert have a very well proven connection. And then, so like you take out Marquise Brown, you throw in Keenan Allen, you look at, he already has Darren Waller. Kupp and Ridley are both studs. Mari Cooper's okay. Yeah, so it comes down to that second running back spot, and I think that'll end up like James Conner won't be there, and DeAndre Swift will be there, and I think DeAndre Swift is going to take a big jump this year too. So I think for a surprise team this year, I think Lupo could finish the year either in first or second place if the cards fall where they will.
All right, Pat.
I'm just going to say Bravin. I think everything pans out. If everything pans out, it's gonna be a good fucking team.
Yeah, I was between Lupo and Bravin for this one.
Okay. I'm a little different than you guys. I'm actually going to pick the worst team in our power rankings. Pops to be a fringe playoff, maybe make the playoffs as a wild card team.
Are you crazy, dude?
I think by end of season, he's going to do exactly what we said, move Chark into that wide receiver 3 and move Pitts into flex.
If he listens to this.
And I think that'll be enough to kind of consistently give him, I don't think he's going to be a league winner, but I think that Pops could actually put together a playoff campaign. Okay, our next preseason award is going to be the most disappointing team. Pat, you want to take this one?
Sure. So I'm basically going to play this as the opposite of Surprising team. That's usually lower half of the league, and then they jump to the top half. I got. Ooh. I think it's gonna be Jack. Mike, did I take yours?
No.
I think it's just Jack's just one injury away from one of these guys to just absolutely sucking dick.
Okay. My most disappointing team. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do most disappointing and my bold take for this season. I think Mike DeCosta is going to miss the playoffs this year. I think he's similar to Jack. If he gets Dalvin down, and I don't believe in Montgomery, he's got nothing. He has to hope Sermon comes on, but the Niners love running back by committee, and they love Raheem Mostert. I see there's a pathway to where even if Mike's team is, the fifth or sixth ranked team, that's a disappointing team for him, or a season for him. There's a kid that won the season last year. He's expected to win it again this year. And I just see a pathway to where he can very much disappoint us. Big Mike?
You actually took mine. I think mine is Mike too. I think he's going to try and overmanage it to make up for the lack of receiver after Adams. And I don't think Robinson will do well until Andy Dalton's not behind center.
Montgomery.
What about Montgomery?
He's Allen Robinson.
Oh, Allen Robinson. Sorry.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Allen Robinson. No, Montgomery, I already said. I think he'll get his. He'll be all right. Especially he doesn't have any competition in the backfield right now. We'll see if Big Ben stays healthy. That's good for Claypool, but Claypool had a few good weeks and then fell off the face of the earth last year. I don't love Ronald Jones really at all. But I think Trey Sermon will be in that spot by the end anyway. But I think Mike ends up flunking this year, and I don't know if I'll say he'll miss the playoffs, but I don't think he'll get a first round bye for sure. And I think he'll be like a 4 seed and get knocked down in the first round.
Okay. Off the tail of our most disappointing team, who do we all think is going to come in last place this year?
Probably me.
Pat?
Pops.
I think it's going to be Big Mike also. I mean, if his most important rookie hits, I could see him not hitting there, but I wouldn't be shocked to see it there. Sorry.
Yeah.
The last one, let's go with the champion. I'm going again. I'm winning in this league. Would that be 4 in a row or 3?
3.
3?
No, that'd be 4, wouldn't it?
Did I win? Yeah, 4. Yeah.
I won the first year, then you won you've won the last 3.
So I'm taking
Pretty
it.
exclusive Champions Club, Cody. So I don't mind keeping it that way. Although I don't like who I am going to pick to win the league.
Okay, Mike?
I talked about Jack's depth, but at the end of the season, when you're in the playoffs, you just need your starters to be there. And I think if Jack's starters are there, he's going to win the championship.
Pat?
I'm going to pick myself. I'm going to do it, guys.
Probably not, but okay.
Okay. It's my bold take. I'm winning.
All right, so that's gonna wrap up our first episode of season 2 of Our League Sucks. Nice to be back here. I'm gonna try to have this out by Wednesday every week, kind of a Thursday morning prepper for everybody. Like I said, I want to get the rest of the league a little more involved. I don't think we're going to be bringing people on for interviews quite as much. It's a little more of a hassle. But with that said, I want to get people to kind of vote weekly matchups, vote power ranking, stuff like that. And I'm excited for another season.
By this time on Thursday, we'll already have almost a full NFL game under our belts.